You're watching 7 River Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, into wellness, into fitness. First time ever. This is a special show this week because we have 3 of the very best football players in the entire area on our set. I mean, we're fortunate, no question about it. So let me introduce them to you. First, from Sparta High School, Cole Wisniewski. And then from Bangor High School, Horstman, and next to me from Onalaska High School, Nathan Lubinsky. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I don't know if any host of any show is as fortunate as I feel today, having 3 of not only the better football players in the area, but quality young people too. So let's start with Cole. How did it all begin? I mean, you're a senior now. You've had so much success. Let's go back down the yellow brick road to when you were young and you started playing sports.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so I've always been around sports growing up. My mom still is an elementary PE teacher, so every day after school I'd be in there with her. My dad was a football coach for Melrose Mandaro, so been at his games ever since I was born pretty much. So it's really always been around sports. Always seen my older brother competing too, always been his stuff. Always wanted to be as good as him or better, so.
And you've accomplished about everything you can ever accomplish. We're going to talk about some of those. And with Carter Horstman, when did it start for you?
My buddy's mom was a elementary school teacher, and so she would just open up the gym and just let us come in and lift and, you know, just play basketball and stuff like that. My cousin is a college athlete, so I kind of grew up watching her and wanted to be as good as her. And
well, I know many of the Horstmans from Bangor, and of course, with a last name like that, the expectations a little high?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that.
So Nathan, I guess I know how it started with you because I watched you play when you were young.
Right. Grew up playing all sorts of sports. Basically just play what my friends played, and got me to BGC for football, 3rd grade. I think that's when it started. And yeah, I remember playing with all those Logan kids, and just a really good experience.
Well, you separated yourself from the rest way back then. I mean, you were hard to tackle. You just were a complete athlete. That must have been some fond memories because you got to meet players from different schools.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just being able to meet so many new guys and that really share the same interests as you. Yeah.
Well, Cole, you know, some may argue that there are other good players in the history of Sparta football. They might think of Kyle Wanless, a friend of mine, lots of other good athletes along the way. Mark Jenkins, a good quarterback. I don't know if you remember back in late 60s, early 70s, he had set a bunch of records. But as a fan, as a broadcaster, as an official, watching you and playing against Sparta athletes when I was in high school, I would say, in terms of playing on both sides of the ball and being a special teams player, I've never seen anything better. I've never seen a better player wearing a Sparta uniform. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess I appreciate the compliment. I mean, there's been a lot of work going into it. We've had a lot of really great athletes come throughout, I mean, the history. I mean, throughout my time here, we've had a bunch of good players. Just really haven't been able to put together a great football team, I guess. So, in my high school career, we've had probably more winning seasons than we have over the past 20 years combined. Whether it was my freshman year before I was on varsity and after that. So it's good to see that we're getting more and more athletes. You're going to see some more kids come up next year too. We're going to be phenomenal athletes that you're going to see play both ways.
You know, we broadcast a lot of your games, and I made the comment on the broadcast that you excelled on offense. You didn't even take a break. The ball went to the opponent, and you were in on essentially probably 3/4 of the tackles when you were on defense. I mean, you obviously were in great shape.
Yeah, especially towards the end of the year, it really helps it when it's cold. I'm sure you guys can attest to this too. When it's cold out, it's way easier to stay in the game because you're not getting nearly as tired. The cold weather definitely helps with that, but yeah.
Well, the ladder of success went straight up, and when you think of Bangor football, you think of, you know, there's been many good players, Pischke, Kellen Kravik, a lot of good players, Reeder and so on. But when you look at what Carter Horstman has done, and all these guys have achieved success too. 3-sport athlete, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state game in 2017, 2018 and 19 Player of the Year in the Scenic Bluffs, 2-way all-conference performer, all-region, all-state, and academically solid. You can't tell me that you knew or you forecast and thought all those things were possible when you were young.
No, definitely not. I guess a big part of that is just staying humble and never being satisfied with where you're at, I guess. With being in a program like we have in Bangor, I've always just wanted to keep it going, you know. Like, I motivated other guys, and I just wanted to keep the success going.
Yeah, and you have. And this guy next to me, Nathan Lubinsky from Onalaska High School, freshman year 9-2, sophomore year 9-2, junior year a little setback for the Hilltoppers. They were 7-4, but 4-1 prior to a season-ending injury for Nathan. And then his senior year 8-2. So overall 33-10 in your career as a Hilltopper athlete. But let's go back to your junior year. As I mentioned, 4-1, and all of a sudden, a season-ending injury. It must have been difficult for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just a tough injury that. So I couldn't finish out the season, and then just couldn't participate in track or go to any camps, which kind of sucked for recruiting and just development. But you know, I think in the end it was probably better than it. Or I think.
So was there a silver lining to it?
Right. I mean, I think there's definitely positives to it. I think it just kept me humble, you know, make me not take anything for granted, and just help me with my just never giving up. I mean, with my persistence and just everything like that.
Humble. That's the word that your friends told me that describes you when I talked to them recently. When I shared that you were going to be on our show, they said, well, he is. Not only is he a great athlete, but a good person and a quiet, unassuming person. Have you always been that way?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just always been pretty quiet. Always been a hard worker, you know.
And you're a track star too. You've done well in track. You were all-state honorable mention, all-region, and Wisconsin Football Coaches Association all-academic. So the classroom comes first?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, football ends eventually, so education is definitely a big deal.
Nathan, when you look at all the things you've accomplished, I mean, you've certainly, when you think of Onalaska football, years from now you're going to think about you, because Nathan Lubinsky, not only all academic, but all state. I mean, not many people have ever accomplished what you have done as a high school athlete.
Yeah, I mean, just power of persistence, you know, just.
But a lot of it has come through your dedication in the off season too.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Share for our viewers what it takes to get to your level.
I mean, just a lot of work in the weight room and just working hard wherever I can, you know.
So when other people are taking those months and weeks off, days off, not Nathan Lubinsky.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've always been a grinder, I guess you could call it. You know, in the weight room, track, just.
And it's paid off, no question about it. We talked about your academics, but off the air with you, Cole, too. I mean, academics has been your priority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Part of the reason that I think that probably academics has been kind of such a big thing is just so competitive. You know, always in class, always trying to get a better score than my classmates. So no matter what it is, I'm always trying to compete and trying to be better than everyone else, I guess.
Have you all selected the most difficult classes too?
Yeah. So this year I've taken 3 AP courses. Really, the only AP courses I haven't taken is social study AP courses. So right now I'm in AP Chem, AP Lane Comp, and AP Calc.
Whoa. I mean, you got a full load, no question about it. Plus, your grade point average is one of the highest in the entire class.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm first in my class right now, so it's pretty. I have Isaac Stiesel, who was. Do you remember Isaac Stiesel? He's right behind me. I think he's .005 grade point average behind me right now for class rank. So
wow.
he's right on my tail.
That's impressive. When I looked at the resume of Carter Horstman, too, academic honors for you?
I guess I'm like 3.8, I guess. So solid.
More than solid?
That's still good.
So are some of your classes difficult to kind of describe a typical day for Carter Horstman?
I mean, my senior year, I guess, they've gotten a little easier, but my first 3 years, they were pretty tough. I kind of slacked off. The first semester of my freshman year, I got a B+ in one of my science classes, and that's kind of why my grade point average is where it's at today.
Well, yeah. And family support, a big part of who you are.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have 3 to 4, uncles and aunts and all them at my games, and they're always, just pushing me to get better, I guess.
When you look at what you've done, 49-4, your record during your high school years, 2,232 yards, top of the leaderboard in tackles, tackles for a loss. You're right up there in the leaderboard with Andrew Piskey, Luke Reeder, and Nick Eichert. So when you think of Bangor football years from now, your name will be right there. Did you ever think that would happen?
I mean, I've always dreamed it would happen, but I never really thought it would happen until it actually is, and I'm just thankful that I was given the opportunity.
You have great coaches and great teammates, and all three of you do. We're going to step aside just here for a minute. When we come back, more here on Seven Rivers Sports.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
The thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, a special show this week with Cole Wisniewski from Sparta and Carter Horstman from Bangor and Nathan Lubinsky from Onalaska. 3 of the best in the area, no question about it. Cole, I had a chance to talk to your coaches a little bit, and both of them friends of mine, and they were just sharing some of the records that you have. Most passes completed in the history of Sparta football, most rushing touchdowns, second in passing yardage, 2,500 yards overall, most points scored in a career, most touchdowns in a career, and I mean, as we said at the beginning of the show, I don't know if those records will ever be broken. You certainly had the confidence, and you were introduced to the sport young, but I would rather doubt that you thought you'd have that kind of success. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it helps being a quarterback for 3 years, definitely, and having an offense that suits you as just kind of not as much of a thrower, but more as just kind of an athlete, getting to be an athlete in the offense. It really helped. But obviously, it's like Carter was saying earlier, something that you dream about when you're younger, just that success at high school level. So.
Well, and last year you were 7-3. You beat West Salem Central, and then you beat Holman, and then you went into the postseason, and things didn't go as well. But you were 5-1 in the conference, and I specifically remember the Central game, a dramatic finish. You won that game, but besides playing quarterback, your job in that game defensively was to spy Johnny Davis and follow him wherever he went, and it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it worked pretty good. He still had a lot of stats against us, but we did pretty good at trying to do what we wanted to do. he had a couple big runs that game, and it's just you get caught sometimes. Every once in a while, we tried sending me on a blitz from the edge, and they just happened to run it the other way. So, sometimes it didn't work out, but at the end of the day, no matter what really happened during the game, stats-wise, we got the W. So.
Your head coach said, Adam Dahl said this about you: your athletic ability is surpassed by your work ethic and your character. Nice compliment.
That's a really nice compliment, yeah.
What's your thought on that?
It's the way you want it to be, I guess. I don't think no one ever wants to have that athletic ability be the only thing about them. I think you guys can attest for that as well. Like, if our athletic ability is the only thing people know us for, we're doing something wrong with our lives.
Well, Larry Knoll, who's a good friend of mine and on the coaching staff at Sparta, said the 3 things that make you special. Number 1, Cole Wisniewski, is the fact that your work ethic was the best he's ever seen. We just talked about that. Your coachability, you're always willing to listen and learn, and you have an appetite for learning. And 3, you always had your teammates in mind first. And it really stuck out that you were a leader because it was team first and Cole Wisniewski second.
Yeah, I think the thing everyone should look at, especially when you're a senior in high school, is that there's still going to be a program when you leave. The program isn't about you. It has nothing to do with yourself, but it's about the team. So our success this year, it's great to have a good year of 7-3. That's great. But if we can't have a successful seasons year in after year, what's the point? How good of a leader were you if you can't have that resonate even when you're not there?
A similar comment, too, our viewers would be interested in this, from a good friend of mine, Kevin Kravick, about Carter Horstman. Carter is the epitome of a football player. He could have played for Newt Rockne. Maybe you don't even know that name, but I sure do, and our viewers probably do. Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Tom Landry, and maybe even Matt LaFleur. In other words, you're a timeless player. Your skill set is cherished by the community, hard-nosed, driven, and the accolades you have received, you truly deserve. That's spoken from your defensive coordinator. Similar thoughts from the head coach, Rick Mullenberg.
Yeah, kind of like Cole was saying. It's not all about you. You want to see the program still do good after you leave. So like when we got up on teams, other guys subbed in. I was more excited when they were scoring than when I was. I was coaching them. I was telling them what to do here, what to do there, and it was fun. I enjoyed that.
Well, Carter, that's unusual. I mean, in this world we live in now, many times it's about me. It's about how many accolades a person can get. That's why these 3 are on the show, because they all exemplify that, including Nathan Lubinsky, who his coach Yash says about him, best player he's ever coached. He'll be missed dearly. The moment that he remembers, and see if you remember this, Nathan, was your 80-yard touchdown against Holman in the 4th quarter. And you were a freshman then?
Right, yeah.
Take us back to that.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty excited, just getting in for the first time on offense, basically. And then just be able to pop one off against Holman. It's definitely a big momentum swinger, and yeah, we ended up winning that game. So. And
of course, then fast forward from that to this past year when you beat Holman for the conference championship.
Right.
And that was your favorite memorable point in your career?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just that game gave us outright conference win with that win, and then outright conference championship with that win, and then Holman's just always a great program, and they're just always so physical. It's just
they are.
It's always a fun
and it
team
was
play.
Special because you know a lot of those players.
Right. Yeah.
So that made it. Well, what's next now for Nathan Lubinsky? You have track season coming up. We're going to follow you there, and then graduation.
Right. Yeah, and then I'll be heading to the University of South Dakota for football.
Good. And so, were there a lot of schools that looked to get your services?
I mean, a decent amount, but South Dakota definitely fit what I was looking for. Just coaching staff, just a bunch of great guys that really seemed like they wanted me.
And then career as a what?
Running back.
Okay. And then after that, you're gonna pursue what in education?
Dentistry.
Okay.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Well, basketball for you, though, Carter.
Yep.
So you're involved in that, and then you're a three-sport athlete. Football your favorite?
Yeah, football is by far my favorite, but I still have fun in the other ones.
And you're off to a good start in basketball.
Yep, we are.
Of course, in last year, the last several years, you've been good in every sport. But talk about what's next for you after you graduate.
You know, I'm planning on playing football. I don't know where yet. I've had a couple offers. I'm still undecided, I guess. And then as far as profession, I really don't know yet. I'm still going to keep my options open. I got a few things in mind, but I really don't know yet.
Several people have inspired you along the way. Who have they been?
Well, I guess one of them's been my coach, my head coach, Rick Mullenberg. And then I guess another one's my dad, because I don't know, what kid doesn't want to be like their dad, I guess. I don't know.
But then in your profile, you talked about Jonathan Taylor and Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I just like how they play, the style that they play.
And so you sort of model yourself after those guys?
A little bit, you could say, I guess. You could say that.
And Nathan, you model yourself after your dad because he's been your inspiration.
Right, definitely. I mean, he's just always motivated me, you know. He's a grinder, he's a hard worker, and I guess I've always just looked after him. You know?
Well, I see him compete too.
Right.
I mean, he's still on his bike. He still does a lot of things.
Definitely.
And he stays in top shape too.
Oh yeah.
So that's been he's been a role model for you, right?
Right.
Three-sport athlete, Cole. So you got a lot going on yet before you graduate.
Yeah, kind of same. Play basketball. Just picked basketball up 2 years ago, so it's interesting still. It's definitely every game's a learning experience. I'm not the best basketball player. It's just a humbling experience coming from football season to basketball season. So.
And then in the spring?
Yeah, track and field. So this will be my fourth year in high school doing track. So hopefully maybe step up in some opens this year. You know, I've made it to sectionals for relays a lot. So this year might be going a couple open events this year.
Good. And one of your role models is a guy that I saw play recently in Whitewater. Who would that be?
That's my older brother, Ryan Wisniewski.
It's too bad he escaped this cooler region to go to Whitewater instead of playing here. But Whitewater, as we tape the show here, by the way, a week or so before Christmas, Whitewater is still in the postseason.
Yeah, they won last week. We went down to Texas last week, played Mary Hardin-Baylor, team who hadn't lost a game in 33 games. It was a really good team. They went down there and ended up winning 26-7, a little bit of revenge after last year. Mary Hardin-Baylor knocked him out in the semifinals last year. My brother, unfortunately, wasn't able to play in that game last year, though. He got a concussion in the quarterfinal game, so it was a good revenge game for him.
I know you're on to a scholarship playing college football.
Yeah, I'm headed up to North Dakota State this summer. Yeah.
And then you're going to pursue what in college?
See, that was part of the reason. That was part of my choice to go there. I don't really know what I want to do yet. I'm going to go undecided. But the good thing about North Dakota State being a state school is they have an ample amount of opportunities in fields. You know, there's minors and majors and about everything. So. And
when you think of Cole Wisniewski, you think about your leadership. Well, how would you describe yourself as a Spartan leader?
I just try to do. Oh, it's kind of a tricky question. You try to be a leader in any way possible, whether it's during the school day, you want to show people what good studying habits look like, whether it's after school, you want to show them what correct preparation for your events are, or if it's on the field, you want to show them how to handle yourself properly. But as a leader, you just want to really gather people to contribute to a certain goal, whether that's winning a game, if that's trying to get someone an opportunity that they haven't had, whatever it is.
And friends and encouragement are the two words I think of when I think of Carter Horstman. Would that be correct?
Yeah, you could say that. Like Cole said, you wanna when you're talking about leadership, you wanna help your friends. I guess teach them how to control themselves during the game and teach them how to act. And I guess big thing is I don't know. When you say my name in the elementary schools in Bangor, like all the kids, their eyes just get huge, and like that's really, I don't know, that's really cool to me, I guess, because at the games when we run out, all the little kids are screaming my name, and it's awesome to know that you've made that kind of impact.
It's emotional too, isn't it?
It's really cool.
Nathan, there's a lot of people would like to be a Nathan Lubinsky someday, and they're at the elementary schools in Onalaska. You go speak to them, and they ask for some advice. What would you say to them?
Just whatever you want to do. Just, I mean, if you have goals, just work hard. You know, dedicate yourself towards them, and yeah, just be patient. And
make right choices.
Right.
Because there's a lot of temptations out for young people. You've made the right choices, haven't you?
Right.
And that's why you're successful, and so is Carter, and so is Cole, and that's why you're on this show. And that's why you're leaders in your respective schools and communities. So it's been a great show and been an honor to have you three as my guests this week. Again, Cole Wisniewski, Carter Horstman, and Nathan Lubinsky here on Seven Rivers Sports. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts and a film clip on a recent game right after this.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 five-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. As we close the year, I want to send a special note of appreciation to all of you for watching Seven Rivers Sports. We work hard to bring you a good show each and every week. Behind the scenes, Jesse and his crew do a great job with production. As we look to 2020, we hope to bring you even more guests, a variety of topics that we hope you will enjoy. If you have a thought on a guest or a topic, please contact us here at the studio. My wish for each of you is that 2020 is a year filled with good health and happiness. Until next week, when you will meet 2 members of the Central Red Raider basketball team, Peyton Fife and Brecken Austin. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, thanking you for joining us this week here on Seven Rivers Sports.